So, welcome everyone to the New Era Paranormal Investigators National. During this event was made this past November as a result of finding a place to investigate due to a snowstorm, canceling another investigation that we had planned. Due to the snowstorm, we were also unable to get all of our members to be able to attend the relocated investigation. As a result, for this investigation, we worked with several members from the Pioneer Paranormal Society at Alfred State College. We also worked with Sheila Cromer and Catherine Robbie from the EMF Paranormal team. Sheila helped us with her psychic abilities throughout the video. I'd like to say thank you to everyone that helped us create this video and the location owners, and that their help is appreciated. So right now it's just going through like YouTube's version of a countdown.
Okay, cool.
Even though it is a little odd because you don't see any numbers or anything for the countdown.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely neat how all like the social media and stuff is like connecting like that now and stuff, so that you can share like live and stuff. That's really cool.
There's the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I wanted to make sure that I got all of his story out.
Yeah,
Like I didn't miss anything. I probably could have figured out a way to like keep the story going at a good pace, but
it's
for
definitely
this,
interesting, like hearing it because you would think that at an antique shop, but yeah, like there's a whole bunch of like items and stuff too that could have something attached.
one thing that I learned about this place that was actually kind of neat is when they are given an object, apparently like they don't always get the backstory of an object. So
Yeah.
they look at it at face value, not what could be attached to it.
Oh,
So there could be a lot more haunted locations.
yeah, true. Give me 1 second.
I did make sure to cut out all the swearing in this.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, so what I try to do with this is like I did the intro, I really enjoy the intro, then I did his first like uh description of the activity there.
Hmm.
But it's based on each floor of the building and then we
Okay.
have like investigators go through. It was like live when we were doing it, we had somebody doing the interview,
Oh
then
shit.
people walking around on different floors, then a medium going through all at the same time. But
Hmm.
the way that this is edited is we have him doing the like the interviews, and then I grouped it into where he was having the activity, and then we have either the psychic or the group that was exploring immediately following that. So that they were exploring the area that he had just described his experiences in, and that's how all this is. What the beginning is organized.
Okay. Oh yeah. That would
This is kind
scare
of
me.
neat. This part is kind of neat. So essentially, it was like the silhouette of a figure was like compressed against the wall. It was
Oh, that's
just
freaky.
outline, well, outline and shadow of one. This place actually also actively like refurbishes a lot of furniture and stuff to
Oh,
sell.
that's cool. Mm. Oh.
I have tried to take photos on the second floor where they had the clothing, and I haven't been able to replicate it. So
That's freaky.
I don't know. Maybe somebody had a connection to the spirit that they didn't know about. Didn't think about.
That's true. Because especially too, if some piece of clothing was for like a special event that like is really close to them, that's a huge possibility. Like they say that the Marilyn Monroe's dress is her spirit is attached to it.
That's something I haven't heard about yet, but there's a lot of different types of material that hold on to energy. This music also fit this scene very, very well.
It definitely does. I love how it's edited and everything. Oh, wow.
It's also very interesting timing to have the train going through at that time.
Right. How old is the building? Because like how it looks extremely old.
It's probably around the 1800s, some period. Well, the 19th century, the 1800s, somewhere in there.
Yeah, you can definitely tell.
It's seen a lot of different faces. It was an apartment building, an office space, like a Macy's center.
Wow.
And it was kind of the center of the city for a good amount of time. And it had a lot of people from different industries and walks of life go through it.
That's cool.
So one thing that was really not included in the video about that doll is that I actually had Sebastian do a reading of it, like from a photo, and he said that it was very active. She ends up getting more activity that relates to the doll being haunted. So
that is so cool.
I actually purchased that doll, which is actually an ornament, but it looks like a doll.
Is that the one that you posted on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt some energy from it.
Yeah, I forgot you said something about it. It's unfortunately it is very strong, but I'm not sure that it's the most positive thing because when I have picked it up before, I have felt like pain in my
Mm-hmm.
arm in the area that like really close to where I had picked it up.
Ooh, that's scary.
Now it's living within a lantern, an old lantern that I also purchased from this antique shop. We will probably be displaying it in the. So this kind of spins off a little bit, but it's better
Mm-hmm.
than having a boring video.
Yeah.
Um, what I want to do for our tables is include the doll, have it have its own little space, and then have like a journal so people can write down what they feel coming from the doll.
That's a really good idea.
And do we have Joe joining us now? How's it going?
So, boss,
Oh, I'm doing pretty well.
I'll be popping in and out. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so right now we have the psychic on the second floor. Like it's not live, but that's where we are in the video. She's doing a reading of it. I was just talking about how I also bought a lantern. Like, I don't think you were there when I bought the lantern, but I also bought the doll, and we'll be having that on display at our tables that we do for our paranormal group. And I've gotten a lot of activity related to it.
There's another doll up there that looks an awful lot like it.
Oh, that's freaky.
Yeah, because I was up there the other day and I'm looking down like, I thought he said he bought that doll.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's
Do you?
apparently twins.
I was just about to say, do you feel anything with the other doll? Like, kind of get like a weird feeling about it?
I'm not a fan of dolls
No,
at all.
because I've heard of it's this, where it's happened where there's like more than like the same doll, and there's like can be other energies or the same energy attached to it, because energy always just flows wherever it wants to go.
The energy upstairs is weird. I mean, it's almost a daily or every other day thing that I'm having things happen, and I just wish you guys could be there when it happens. I told John about something really eerie that happened to me a few weeks ago. I was at the store working until like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and I have this clock that's worked perfectly ever since I bought it, and things just started acting up. Just hearing like footsteps upstairs, and we were closed, and the clock just stopped, and it took me like 20 minutes to get it to go again.
Oh wow.
And I messaged somebody, another business owner on the block. I said, I don't know about you, but when things get creepy here and I'm working by myself, I turn the radio up all the way. And she said, yeah, crank it. And just after she sent that text, our radio went out. I don't know if that's a coincidence, but it went out. And for about an hour, I kept feeling like something was. I was in the work area downstairs, and I felt like something was watching me over by the bathrooms. And I heard this loud crack. I can't explain it. I couldn't find it. There was nothing over there that should have made that noise. And then for up until about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I kept feeling like something was watching me from that corner. Going from the doors, I saw the top of a woman's head, long dark hair, and it was just like going back and forth. Not far enough that I could see full body. It'd stop in the middle at those racks and go back quickly. And after about 9 o'clock, I said, okay, guys, you can have the store tonight. I'm going home. I'm done. It's odd. I mean, there's so much that happens there.
Yeah, that definitely sounds really like high intense like anxiety. I'd be like scared out of my mind.
I mean, I've gotten used to it, but
there's those moments where it just catches you off guard. Like you get used to it and then they like hype it up because like my parents' house is haunted, and like with me being a psychic medium, it's like more heightened for me, and there's times where I'm jumping because I'm getting spooked.
I'm always hearing noises upstairs. Ever since that time I was upstairs with Sheila, and I had that episode where I felt like I was hyperventilating, but it lasted for 45 minutes. And the way I was feeling, I had that happen again 2 months ago, going up to the top floor. I hadn't been up to into that warehouse area since the investigations, but I went up there because I had to look at some chairs for parts. And by the time I got not even up 3 steps, it hit me again. It only lasted like 20 minutes, but it was there.
Oh, wow.
But that's only 2 times. So I usually don't get stressed there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm always hearing things. But my wife and I went in there on a Sunday morning to grab my phone charger before the store was open. And as we walked in the back door, we heard a woman's voice say, "Who is that?" She heard it too. Now, she's always been skeptical about this stuff, but she can't deny that.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Yeah, I heard it."
Wow.
It was like they were talking to somebody else. So there must have been 2 ghosts there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're like with all the stuff that you like take and everything, there's probably a lot of spirits there that's like attached to stuff.
Oh, John, you might like this one. A lady called me wanting me to buy some steamer trunks. She wanted a lot of money for them. Okay, I think they're on Facebook Marketplace right now. I think, I'm not sure because I didn't get her name. But at the end of the conversation, I told her I wasn't going to give her how much she wanted. She says, "Well, I think they're haunted anyways." I'm like, "Well, like this, yeah, so it'll fit in, you know."
Right.
That's no big deal. Yeah, if you look up steamer trunks on Marketplace, there's one there for around $1,000.
Oh wow!
I think it's in Wayland. I think it's the same person. I should have told her, well, if it's haunted, then my price went down.
It should have. For most people, yeah.
We get that every once in a while. Someone say, "Oh, I got some canes. Do you want them?" You know, when people want to give you stuff that's really nice, you got to worry about what's wrong with it.
Right.
I know for the investigation, we definitely interacted with more than one spirit. And you've talked about settings with multiple also.
I'm supposed to get in touch with there's a guy who was a historian. He's supposed to know a lot about the building. He's not a historian, he's just like a history buff of Hornell. A lady come in and she worked there as a teenager. So when these people come in, I pick their brains like crazy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And they love sitting there. They're usually in their 80s, 70s.
Oh.
And they love sitting there talking. One lady I was talking to, she looked me up on Facebook, already followed us. And she put me in, gave me a guy's name. He's supposed to contact me. And I can't wait. I mean, I'm trying to find pictures of the place. And these people come in, it's mostly women. And she tells me all about their memories and what it was like working there. She said she worked in the bookkeeping upstairs, and they were not allowed to talk to each other. They were not allowed to say hello to each other. They get fired. They said some lady would sit at the top of the stairs. There was an office desk up there, and she would watch them like a hawk. She said, if you talked to somebody that wasn't a customer, you were fired immediately. So it was pretty hard work in there.
Yeah, it sounds that. That's intense.
I mean, these kids she said she was in high school, so when she worked there.
That's crazy.
That was the office space, right? The bookkeeping?
The bookkeeping, I think, was upstairs, too. But she says if she worked on the floor, she would. That's the way it was. They weren't allowed to talk to anybody. I mean, to each other. So, have you started the video yet, or?
Yeah, it's live right now. Well, not
Oh, I can't.
live. That's premiering right now. It was edited, recorded. I spent a couple months editing it and producing it, and tonight was like when we actually premiered it, so it became available for people to watch. There's a good handful of people watching it.
Is it on
People
YouTube?
watching it, yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'll probably get to watch it later. I wanted to chime in and talk to you a little bit. I got a really busy month this month. My weekends are really, really full. And my day off, my one day off during the week, I'm trying to, get out with the dogs. But I'm trying to hammer down another evening. We get you guys in there for another investigation. It'd be great.
Yeah, we would definitely be interested. Either my group that me and Christina are part of, or the club at Alfred State College. Either one would be interested in doing more with a store. Have you
I
talked
don't.
to any of your other neighbors other than the Hush cocktail place about the activity?
There's not too many more. The ones on one side of us we don't talk to because they're never there. The one on the other side is like social services, and it's I don't know. I haven't heard much from them at all. I haven't even been to Hush much lately. I've been so busy working.
Do you know if they would allow a paranormal group in that place? If
the social services?
No, the
other side.
lounge.
The other side was the like a spa by appointment only, but they've not been there in like a year. So I don't know what's going on with that place.
You could always just pick their brains and be like, hey, have you experienced anything abnormal?
Yeah, I haven't seen them since last year.
No.
I did talk to the guy who was running the antique store before the current proprietors, and he said he really never had any, instances. He didn't think about it. He paid no attention to it. I know the current proprietors, the guy who's been there so much, he's seen a few things, but I tell you what, it took a lot of prying to get him to open up to me about it.
Oh yeah.
A lot of
definitely.
talking about it. Because when I first mentioned it, he thought I was crazy. I mean, I've been working there off and on since 2012. And within the first 6 months I was there, I I started having things happening. When they whispered in my ear and told me to stop, and I was backing up carrying a big cabinet, I almost knocked over a glass display case. I mean, I turned my head to the left and my nose just almost touched it. That's how close I was. And I was like, yeah, something else is going on here.
Wow.
John's heard all my stories, so
they're definitely interesting. I always love hearing people's experiences with paranormal.
It's definitely a very active location.
The other day I came into the store. Was it what day did Mom and I go in? Sunday? Monday. Monday I went into the store. We have video cameras, and there's another new video camera up by the register. And when I came in Monday morning, the store was closed. I came in to do some work on our booths, and a hat was on the floor. Now, this hat had been hanging there for about 3 months. The heat blowing on it never got knocked over, never got moved. But overnight, it got blown off. Either the heat blew it or if something knocked it off. And I looked at the camera, and at When it got dark, the hat wasn't there. As it started to get daylight, there it was. So somewhere between 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, it get dark.
Mm-hmm.
Between that and 6 a.m., something knocked the hat off where it was hanging.
Wow.
So what happened? Something happened last week. I had a period about 2 weeks last month where every time I turned around the corner, it was like something was standing there and darting away. Now I don't know if that was just myself seeing things or what.
Did you feel like somebody was there?
I don't know. I was kind of like in a hurry, you know. But today I was working at the bottom of the steps. I did some work in a booth, and I was standing at a table doing some work, and I could have sworn somebody brushed right next to me, and I'm like real close to me, and there was absolutely nobody there.
Yeah, no. I wonder if something there is like because of how much time you're there and how long you've been there. I wonder if they're just like growing to like kind of like your presence and stuff there, and kind of just want to play games on you.
Oh, I had a few instances in the past where they try to play a game of tag. I hear a noise over in one area, and I walk over to check it out, and then I hear a noise at the other end of the store. So I was like, after 3 or 4 times, like, okay, guys, I'm done. I'm not playing this game. Now, John, you experienced the different smells there, right? The aromas. Sometimes at the bottom of the stairs, I'll smell perfume. Sometimes it's roses. Sometimes it's pipe tobacco. The other day, I smelled coffee, like coffee grounds. I couldn't figure that one out. I didn't have any coffee in the store. Sometimes I'll smell like a candle smell, but I can figure out where that came from.
Yeah.
So I try to figure out where all the smells come from. See if a vendor brought in candles or if they brought something in that, I'm like a hound dog walking around trying to sniff everything. That happens right by the stairs. A lot. And that's right where Sheila saw that girl, Emily. And that's who I think was watching me that night, going back and forth.
Yeah.
Because she followed us to Hush that night.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't remember exactly what happened, but I do have issues with memory. And that was a while ago now.
So it is pretty cool working there. Every time I leave, I get drawn back.
Oh, I bet.
I've been fired like 4 times by the family. I've quit 3 times, and now we're hoping by the end of the year to maybe own it. So
nice.
Not the building, just the business.
Yeah, I know. That's super cool though. That it's like you want to just keep the legacy going with the business and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake there for the vendors.
Yeah.
They got a lot of money tied up. I just like the building. I did finally go all the way up to the top floor. I couldn't do that. I couldn't go to the 3rd floor. I couldn't go to the 4th floor. But I had a new hire, and I had to give her a tour of the building. And I had to go up and get some things. So, yeah, it was different going up there.
Yeah. Did you tell her about all the experiences to give her a heads up, or just let her just?
I said a little bit, but she didn't. I said a little bit, but she doesn't seem too receptive. So I back off. Yeah. We have one lady who works there. I'm not allowed to tell her about what happens. She said if I ever scared her, like if I ever sat there in the morning and jumped out and went boo, she'd quit. So
poor thing.
I was gonna do that to Sandra.
Oh, Sandy?
Yeah. Yep. I got there early one morning, and I'm thinking, I'm going to sit here in this chair in the dark by the lights. And when she turns the lights on, I'm going to go booga booga and see what I have. But she said I'll quit. She said, Joe, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm out of here. I'm not coming back. I can't do that. I like Sandy too much.
Yeah.
Sandy's actually the one that got me and Joe in touch.
Sandy's
Oh,
very
nice.
Sandy's very important. I like to keep her
She's
happy.
a very good person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to stop back sometime to pick out or talk about the radios there that I had interest in.
Those in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you that other doll too. Maybe I'll send you a picture tomorrow. I'm working through Saturday this week, so if any of you guys want to stop in and say hi,
You're only
Just stop
open
in.
until
Definitely.
5, though, right?
What's that?
The store is only open until 5, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually gonna switch hours if we take over to be more like noon to 6. I'm noon to 7, so people after work can get out there more.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yep, 10 to 5, Monday or Tuesday through Saturday, Sunday noon to 4.
Okay.
Yeah, that would probably be nicer for a lot of
Well,
different people.
we'll pick a day, maybe a Saturday or something like that you can get up there. Maybe a Friday night.
As far as investigations, we're fine to wait until like September.
Okay.
Because one of the groups, if you picked a date in September, should be able to do it.
Now I know July. I should have more time in July because I'm not very busy in the summer months. So in like July or August, I'm available more often. Did you catch a lot of good footage? I mean, a lot of good things happening.
We definitely had some interesting things happen.
I'll be right back.
The voices that you guys heard when you were like looking at the mirror and interacting, well, Sheila was sitting in front of the mirror, scrying, like looking into it, seeing if she could feel something. During that instance, the voices that you guys heard were actually captured on camera
Oh wow!
fairly clearly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah. I definitely enjoyed making it. I'm pretty proud of the video, even though I did have creator's block doing it because it was a very long editing process.
How long is the video?
Either an hour or a little bit over an hour.
I might watch some of it while I'm at the store tomorrow. That'll be interesting to see if any getting, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
If it kicks anything up.
it would definitely be an interesting way to watch it.
All right, guys. I gotta disappear for a minute. I gotta take care of dogs.
Okay.
I'll chime back in a bit.
Okay.
All right, later.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's fine. This part is definitely very interesting. She was using a mirror that is attached to a vanity that we thought might have like had an attachment, and she gets some very interesting stuff off of that.
Okay. That's really freaky.
Well, she's talking about like how her face changes in the mirror and how it starts to look like a ventriloquist doll and or a doll, and it's definitely
Wow.
creepy. That one's not as easy to hear, but it does happen again. When like the volume is turned up, it's easier to hear, but you can at least hear that something happens at that instance.
Oh yeah.
So the green words like kind of just say to what I figured was being said, like
Mm-hmm.
the best representation of what is being said.
Yeah.
Even though, to be honest, a lot of spirit box stuff sounds like Yanni versus whatever.
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
just
It's so hard sometimes trying to decipher what it's saying.
That's why I think with our group, even though it's not going to become like the most valid thing, but I believe it would be good practice to like, if we're using the Necrophonic app, have an app on the phone that just records the audio out of the app.
Mm-hmm.
And for a spirit box, like having a microphone or a audio recorder attached to it so that it's just recording the spirit box.
Yeah. And that phone app is like absolutely crazy because I got it and I was using my spirit box and the phone app, and it was like connecting at the same time. It was blew my mind because I didn't think that it was good. Because like my friend convinced me to buy it, and I was like, dang, I'm like, okay.
That definitely adds a lot of credibility to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said with Greg Ratchcock during the podcast, though, you really have to do your research into the credibility of a phone app.
Mm-hmm.
Because some are just there to make money and to like get people to install it more.
Yeah.
Others, like people actually care about it and are trying their best to make the most easy to get a hold of product to interact with the paranormal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I believe it's GhostTube. It's Amy's Crypts, like that's a YouTuber, Amy's Crypt. Her boyfriend designed an app and like has an app company that produces apps.
Oh,
One of
that's
which
cool.
is an SLS, like phone version of an SLS. It uses the different cameras to align stuff, and you try to figure out what's the apparition and what's not.
Mm-hmm. I know. I found out about that phone app when Netflix put out that documentary about the that hotel in California. I can't think of the name on top of my head, but like YouTubers were going and they had that app and they're like picking up on like Richard Ramirez and stuff like that using that app, and it was like saying his name. It was so mind blowing. I'm like, I'm like, okay, like there's no way you can mess with the app to make it say that.
Yeah. I don't know. I would definitely recommend it to people that don't have a giant budget. Like, it's definitely a good place to start at the least.
And it's a lot more easier to figure out what's being said than the spirit box with the background noise and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. What I would like to do over the course of the summer with a little bit of a budget is make my spirit box into a spirit portal so that it has some filtering to it. Because that blew up on YouTube also. Like, people are able to make spirit portals to filter out like fairly cheap.
Yeah, you can get all the stuff off of Amazon, because that's what my old team did. We all split money into it, and it was built within a day.
The SLS camera is also another piece that you can make yourself.
Yeah, I never knew that, because like mine has the Xbox camera, and it laughs at me. They're like, you paid for somebody to make that. You could have made that. I'm like, I don't know.
The only thing I would like more people to do with that is like actually mount it, as opposed to just walking around with it, because it doesn't have enough time to stick onto something.
That's what I've been trying to figure out, because especially too carrying it, like the thing is heavy. Was there a fire there?
Yes.
Or okay. So it makes sense.
Can you explain more about what you mean? Like the strange smells, or were you picking up on something psychically through the video?
No, I was just curious because of how the burned lady keeps coming through. So I was kind of just like wondering if it was like a fire there and stuff.
No, there was a fire. Yeah, at this point we're really figuring out this story. This is the last part of the video also. This is the third floor. We all grouped up and put a decent amount of effort into this, even though our cameras were dying off at this point.
Yeah.
This was also explained earlier, but there's a rocking chair, which is the thing that the device that has the light that you can see right now is sitting on, and that chair is said to rock back and forth on its own.
Oh, that's cool.
What one of the paranormal investigators from the club at Alfred State College figured out is that if you actually look down on the chair, it's got like circles in it. It's
Mm-hmm.
little holes, circles, but it's basically a pentagram design on the
Oh,
chair.
that's freaky.
So we were kind of curious if that had something to do with the activity.
Probably, honestly. Because I don't know much about pentagrams and all that, but it's like I feel like it'd be like one big portal, and like I feel like once you draw one and stuff, and like do like seances to it and stuff, that it like turns into like a portal.
Plus, again, the not knowing of the background of the object.
Exactly.
So who knows? There was actually a door there that I didn't know about. It like there's no balcony or anything. You just open it up and there's an alleyway and then the warehouse building.
Oh,
So I don't know what that was used for, but that was kind of odd.
it definitely is.
Unfortunately, a lot of this is dark or like completely black. I don't know. It's something I'll keep in mind and try to work on for next time.
Yeah, no, it's hard trying to get like everything like perfect, because like at the time it's like you can't really tell until you upload it and you're like, what the hell.
Well, plus the part that's not seen is I went through like 3 different audio files
Mm-hmm.
and try to pick out what actually worked and you could hear what they were saying and all
Yeah.
that. Also, that is kind of a thing like when you forget where you're pointing the camera and you're just in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of it ends up being kind of like a moment like the shot's not good, but if the audio adds to the story, like you kind of need to keep it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Is this when you were taking pictures?
Yeah, so what just happened is Sheila had taken burst photos, ended up with 2 photos, caught what looked like an orb in one, but didn't catch it in the other from the same angle.
Okay.
It's a better practice to try to do it in groups of 3, like the burst photos.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same angle and it was just about the same photos. So. This video is going to wrap up like fairly quick here, so
Okay.
when it starts doing the credits, I'll do the outro and then we can wrap it up. I don't know. I enjoyed making the video. I think it's a very good video to watch.
It seriously is. And I like the whole like stuff behind it, like the items and then the building, like it all just like it's like I feel like it's just one big like paranormal like playground that's like really like unknown because people don't think of antique shops as being haunted. They just take it as, you know, just used items you can get for cheap.
Also, for our group, this was filmed at the very early into our group's formation. So this was
That's
the
cool.
first video that our group, like any of our members, were part of as established members. So this is just the beginning, and we definitely are going to be making some cool things happen.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Because then also too, it's a learning process throughout the way, like where you learn like what works better for making a video. I'll be right back.
Okay.
What I
We're
missed?
just about to wrap up the video here soon, Joe. So
All right, I'm gonna try and find the video and watch it.
okay, I can send you the link too when I have a moment.
Piper. All right, Pipe. Nasty dog.
Yeah, so now it's the end credits. I'll go ahead and do my outro for this video. So thanks everyone for checking out our event and chatting with us through the chat. We are planning to do a lot of different events throughout the summer, so follow us on our social media to stay up to date with everything. One event that I would like to publicly announce now is our spooky season public paranormal investigation. It will take place at the Wildwood Sanitarium on October 14th, starting at 7 p.m. Tickets for this event are now available to purchase, but the event is limited to only 10 people. Check out the link in this video's description for more information. Again, thanks everyone for joining us tonight, and have a good night.
All right, guys. Remember, stop and say hi.
Yes, definitely.
Later.
Bye.